Greetings, geeks, and welcome to Pretend Low Earth Orbit for episode 673 Geeks in Space. I am Rob Commander Taco Maldo, and today we're going to be talking about Dune, COVID exorcisms, meta barbecue bookends, The Witcher, and anything else that my beautiful co-hosts have to say. Mr. Robert Rosaboom, hello.
Hello, I'm beautiful.
And similarly, but maybe a little less beautiful, but still beautiful, Chris DeBona.
Wait, what the hell?
You can't be equal.
You know, I was going to say, Robert Rosebaum is a beautiful man.
He is a beautiful
man. But you know what? We're all beautiful. We're above average,
I don't know if I go that far, but I will say,
we're at least average. And I exfoliate.
I don't even technically know what exfoliating is.
It just means getting rid of the dead skin cells.
That's
usually
on occasion, I've been known to condition my beard.
Ooh.
So
beard oil. How very hipster, Mr. Rose.
Yeah.
That's how he rolls. I got a new Dune background today.
That's an 84 Dune background, isn't it?
It doesn't matter. It was actually just a random image. It might not be technically associated with the word Dune in any way for the movie, at least.
The story blocks. All right.
That's right. But I got it. I got it because there are like 9 different Dune related things in the bin today. The big news being that Dune's getting a sequel. They greenlit it earlier this week.
I mean, that's great, but they should have done it already.
Right?
Yeah. Should have been part of the process. But hey.
I wonder.
Maybe 3 years from now, people will still remember how much they like Dune.
Yeah, because they're saying it's going to be 2023 minimum or 2024.
So this is the one thing I was thinking about. Zendaya is probably really hard to schedule because she's super popular these days. And Timothy Chalamet is in like 38 movies. So he must be really hard. But I mean, maybe I guess I have to assume that when they hired them, they have like clauses in their contracts that says they have to make room. But also they killed off like all the famous people. By splitting the movie where they did, you lose out on a lot of big names that you would have otherwise had to book to film the second movie. So maybe it'll come out. They Eternals was filming like last November, and so you can film and release 12 months later. That's not crazy pants anymore.
Yeah, the initial reviews for that are in the stinker. Go imagine.
Yeah.
Shocked.
It's funny. It's not even that it's bad. It's just apparently really dull.
Yeah.
Which I see it. I get it.
You could be right.
Ad. Stop ad.
Stop ad. Bad ad. Well, the next Dune related story, the Oscar-winning screenwriter of Dune, he writes in an MS-DOS program that can only hold 40 pages of memory.
I mean, you know what? Whatever works for you, right? If that's
welcome to Movie Master version 3.0.9. Copyright Comprehensive Video Supply Corporation. Last cut was 1988 on the software. There's a phone number.
Don't call it.
I'm totally calling it.
All right. Well, hold the phone up to the speaker when you do.
I'll just add it to the video conference.
There you go. He writes this thing on like a 30-year-old chunk of software. It only holds 40 pages, so a third of the script in memory, a quarter of the script in memory at a time. I kind of love this. I definitely buy into the whole like minimalism in your tools. I put forth a lot of effort to try to make my tools as simple as possible. Mm-hmm. I respect this. This guy might be my spirit animal. So good on him.
Why isn't it letting me make a phone call?
Oh,
it thinks I don't have a Google Voice number? What is going on? Oh, it's because I have a FiSIM. All right, I'm going to leave that alone for now.
Fair
Y'all keep
enough.
talking. I'm loading meat on this other device.
All right. Well, Jeff Bezos is going to be building a space hotel, guys.
So it looks like he bought Sierra, or he's teaming up with Sierra, who were sort of like the inheritors. Not inheritors, but they're the ones who have taken over from Bigelow. Or
it's gotta be
weird.
It's gotta be Bigelow, because if you look at the photos, they look like all those weird inflatable not modules.
Oh, it's ringing. It's ringing.
Oh, you're not spitting it through to us, so
no, I'm not.
Nothing.
The number you dialed is not in service.
Tragedy.
Oh well.
Oh, well.
I guess Movie Master will just have to continue to be just a thing that lives on this guy's ViewSonic monitor with his Model 1 keyboard.
It's too bad because it's shareware. So if you want to write Acts 2 and 3, you have to register.
Oh, is the 40-page limit the shareware limit?
No, but wouldn't that be great?
That would be great.
That would be great.
Yeah, this is like level 1 in Dune.
A little pop-up comes up. It appears that you're trying to conclude your character's arc. This version of Scriptwriter is not licensed to write Act 3.
That's
just
great.
keeps you from using the correct characters' names. It just keeps changing them.
Right. That explains all of those really horrible action movies that come out, like from Russia and from China, that don't really make any sense. That's, I mean, okay, it's a cool picture.
Yeah, but
cool
it's not
3D render.
It's like some nerd just like put that together, which is great. I love nerds, but this is probably not from Orbital Reef, right? Like this is not. I mean, and what's with the solar panels? They have white.
You know, that's how solar panels work now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not.
Yeah, I know. But, you know, it could be.
And there's a distinct lack of crap on the outside of these modules. That's all I gotta say.
Right. If we know anything about the appearance of things in space, it's that everything that was designed in 2001 for the aesthetic of that film, that's what it looks like. Anything else is fake.
Well, I'm just thinking about the ISS and the Tiangong. Tianyan. You know, they look like they have stuff on the outside.
Yeah.
You know, gantries, latching on points. They're not all smooth like a baby's bottom, you know, which you expect from an inflatable module, right? You know, the outside is kind of smooth because it has to inflate. But like these other pieces, they have to have crap on them.
They should be covered with barnacles.
Otherwise, you can't. Where do you latch on? Where are your spacemen gonna latch on?
It's an orbital reef. It should be covered with little barnacles.
That's right. Oh, that's good.
Yeah. See what I did there?
Yeah, that you know, it's like you're thoughtful in your naming of things.
Right.
Mr. /
Yeah, oops. I dropped the mic, but it's mounted on a boom arm above my head.
Well, you could drop you know, like if you're sitting on one of those balls. I once had one of them, you know, pop on me, and it's like boom, you know, you're gone.
Was that in an episode of The Office? How much does that chair cost? Pop.
Oh, that's a good question. I have not seen that episode.
Oh, really?
But Leo Laporte sort of famously also had one pop in the middle of a broadcast. And just like it's like he's sitting there and he's gone. You know, it's hilarious. I'll find a video. Let's keep going.
Good for that guy. All right, let's see. Facebook. They're going to be now called Meta.
Yes.
Which isn't gonna confuse things at all.
Well, actually, it doesn't really. I have to admit, I don't care. You know, it's like, so they want to have a corporate structure. Who cares?
Right.
I don't, you know, okay. You know, and also, come on, I work for Google.
You work for Alphabet, yeah.
You know, so it's like,
well,
it's okay.
I guess my frustration with these things too is that when you choose words like meta, now you just ruined any search for anything that contains the word meta ever. Like it's like when Windows.
Like what are you searching for that's meta?
Metaphysics, meta, meta, anything that would mention a meta discussion of something. Like that's a pretty overloaded word. It's like when Microsoft named the API .NET. It's like, come on, guys, this is a web,
that wasn't
a
smart.
development framework. Like at least choose they should really follow like the rules that prescription medicines do. And like just take a random chunk of syllables that vaguely sound like what it is. Like they could call it CoupNet, for organizing coups, things like that.
Oh, there's metadate, there's metafetadate, there's Oh, let's see now.
I saw a couple of stories about different projects that are named Meta or have Meta in their name.
Ivermectin.
Oh, Ivermectin.
Sorry, I should stop laughing like that.
So the other thing that was funny that came out of that is that there were pictures of Mr. Zuckerberg doing announcements for that, and behind him, he's using a bottle of barbecue sauce as a bookend.
Yeah, no, that was so funny.
Of Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce.
Was it Sweet Baby Ray's? Is that what we figured out? That's cool.
See, the thing about the Sweet Baby Ray's is it's got the high fructose in it. You'd think that he could at least shell out for bone sucking sauce. That stuff's got is made of real sugar.
Well, there's a dog. I wonder if this is like the dog picture that came with the frame. And then these are all very IKEA, not IKEA. They're sort of higher end furniture shop sort of things. Like what's going on with these paintings? And like these books are fake, man. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
there's bowls. Is this a bowl or is this like a vase?
It's a
like
ramen
a sculpture?
shop.
I'm sure Zuck has somewhere in his house one of those framed giant picture things with the stock photos of the families that come with them hanging on his walls.
Right? Except that in his case, it's like a picture of like a bunch of Intel CPUs. It's like grandma, grandpa.
Okay, well, I have to say, I typed in Zuck dog, and it turns out he owns a Puli, which is exactly that dog. Look at this ridiculous thing.
So you're thinking he might be a real human being and not a cartoonish supervillain purely for our amusement?
I kind of love this dog, though. I mean, how do you not love this dog?
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
I'm not really a dog person, as y'all know, but, this dog, I mean, it's not just a dog. It also cleans the floors at walk.
Yeah, it's also a salad topping.
Yeah, it's a floor waxer and a dessert topping.
Yep.
And an absolute nightmare to groom.
Oh, can you imagine?
It's basically a dreadlock dog, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so
it's going to be a hard pass.
Metastable, metathorax.
I'm just saying,
metagenetic, metaethical. Oh,
yeah. I'm just saying, when you choose a company's name, it would be helpful to choose something that was unique so that search results would be consistent. Unless you're like, what was that corporation not that long ago? It was like not a Palantir, but it was a company like that, and they renamed themselves to something completely nonsense, so you couldn't search
like
for
Blackwater. Yeah, it was Blackwater, right?
But they renamed themselves to something crazy.
Yeah, well, they rename themselves like every 6 months.
Well,
they're called like not Constellation, but Scissilations or something like that. Now they were Z for a while. They were Blackwater.
That might have been it. They changed themselves to a letter.
I mean, that's a local company for y'all. That's the pride and joy of Michigan. There, the DeVos family.
Don't get me started, man. I could.
That's Prince.
Yeah, the Prince family is a whole thing.
No, but Prince is.
I know, man. I grew up in West Michigan. They own that part of the state. In fact, one of my teachers in 2nd grade, I can't remember if she married into the Prince family or if she was in the Prince family. So, yeah, it's wired in, man. So up on the screen, you have the trailer for Lightyear.
I have to tell you, I went into this thinking, just a money grab, but I want to see this.
Yeah, I kind of do too.
It looks all right.
I mean, it looks like how it is. The thing is, like, okay, what was the last really good Pixar movie? Up?
I mean, I had Toy Story 3.
That's true. Toy Story 3 is fantastic.
I think Toy Story 3 came after Up, right?
But like, Soul is okay, but it's not. It's
Coco's
not
okay.
I feel like modern Pixar doesn't have quite the thing, but I gotta tell you, man, applying their art style to a good sci-fi story, that could be really fun. I am kind of bummed that the only way that they could get something like this made is to tie it to existing IP. But it might be clever enough to work.
I think the story is that this is the story of the person who inspired the toy.
Right.
So that's how they're keeping it together.
Right.
Look at this cute thing here.
Yeah,
but then it's like, how does that work? Because it was like a 90s toy or an 80s toy,
right?
Well, then he meets the old guy who inspired Mr. Potato Head, and on and on and on.
Yeah.
Gotta warn me there.
That's Don Rickles.
The cat ends up being super stretchy, like the dachshund.
Yeah. Well, the dog is just inspired by Ernest Goes to Camp. And
you know there's going to be like a scene where there's like a gal in an enormous ball gown with the shepherd's hook.
Yeah. I hope that they do it classy. They have the opportunity to tell a really cool science fiction story. I hope they do. I would enjoy seeing that, because I mean, WALL-E is the closest thing to a true science fiction story that they've done. And the first half of WALL-E is just some of the best stuff ever made. The second half is just kind of a really well done cartoon.
Yeah.
I hope that they get to do something that's leans a little harder into the former and a little less into the latter, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be something.
That's right.
It'll be something.
Also in science fiction, there's finally an actual trailer for Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, that's true.
Not a. I mean, that teaser thing that they did was extraordinary, but it was like, it doesn't really give you a sense of what the show is going to look like. It just says somebody's a really good editor and knows how to make something cool. But this is the real trailer. I think the show's going to look freaking great. The trailer has several of the same visual gimmicks as the previous musical thing had, but like all of the cinematography work, the camera framing, the special effects, the way that the dialogue has been being delivered, I think is really hyper stylized. It could really work. It could also be total garbage, and I'll be right there watching.
Look at that. Yeah. I mean, I was never a huge Cowboy Bebop person like y'all. I mean, y'all seem to make it into a religion. I enjoyed it when I saw it a couple times, but I'm not a hardcore fan, but I want to watch this.
They haven't shown Ed yet. Oh, speaking of hardcore Cowboy Bebop things, I don't know if you realize this, but the computer that I'm streaming this from's name is Ein. And so the two computers on my desk, the Windows computer is Ein and the Mac is Ed. So my two computers are named after Cowboy Bebop characters, and have been for 20 years. They just keep all of my desktops have been named after Cowboy Bebop characters, and all of my portable computers are named after Miyazaki characters.
Okay, I'll allow it.
Thank you. I appreciate your word of support. Let's see. Oh, this one I think is you, Chris. The infectious diseases and aromatherapy.
Yeah. So this is Chris DeBona bait right here. So throughout Minnesota and Kansas, as well as parts of Texas, there's a bacteria called Burkholderia pseudomallei. Here we go. Pseudomallei, and it's a disease called melioidosis, and it's a cough and shortness of breath, weakness, fatigue, and nausea. It's most commonly seen in Thailand, Malaysia, blah, 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 right? So what happened was, a lavender scented aromatherapy spray, lemon mandarin. Apparently, when they were making this, they added something they shouldn't have from Malaysia, and like it started popping up, right? And they're like, what is going on here? And so
I'm super threatened by this.
Sent out this thing and made people sick.
I'm afraid that this is all around me all the time because I can't smell, and I think that this is just an elaborate hoax designed to make me breathe and think I have COVID.
Yeah. I mean, this is like, it's deadly for someone like you because you don't know how to smell.
I know. I'd never learned. And I never. But
then again, maybe you're the worst.
Smell.
You're the worst customer for essential oils.
I'm the worst customer for essential oils for a number of reasons, not the least of which is basic science literacy.
Yeah, it was sold at Walmart. They recalled the product on Friday. Better Homes and Gardens lavender and chamomile essential oil infused aromatherapy spray with gemstones.
They're called essential oils, so they can't be bad because they're essential.
Right, it's right in the name.
Yeah.
Yep. You need them. Like everything.
It's aromatherapy. It's by doctors.
Right?
Mm-hmm. It's got the word therapy in it.
Yeah.
And it has healing gemstones. Gemstones. You don't think gemstones would kill you, do you?
No. Everybody knows that rubies are critical.
So they're thinking it was actually attached to the gemstones, that the rocks were not properly, sterilized, which is hilarious,
Right? They spent extra to add air quote gemstones,
healing gemstones
to their product, and then that's gonna give people COVID-like symptoms. But you know what you do if you have COVID-like symptoms, or what you could have done but now you can't do?
What's that?
You can't ask your Catholic priest to exorcise your COVID.
Yeah, I saw something about this. Did you put it up on?
Yeah, it's up there.
They put the kibosh on it.
Yeah. This one's crazy.
That's a Jewish ritual, kiboshing. Where'd it go?
It's down. You scrolled up way too high. There you
go. The Pope has said, "Will you please not exercise COVID?"
So they have an actual meeting of exorcists. And,
wait. How is it the only 15th annual meeting of exorcists?
Well, it's the annual one. Before then, they were monthly. But
the demand had to slow down.
Now they've just given up hope, and they're like, "All right, we'll meet once a year just so that you all can stay on the insurance and other things." So.
For sure that you can't exercise COVID, because if you could exercise COVID, then they wouldn't have had to reduce the frequency of their COVID scheduling, because they would just exercise all of their COVID.
Wait. This year, for the first time ever, the Vatican has invited those from other religions who do a daily battle with the devil. There are witch doctors, high priests, and even Protestants on tap. There are also law enforcement officials who try to provide warning signs,
right,
when someone might be faking diabolical possession.
They invited Henry Cavill just to make sure that they had all the people who fight witchers.
That's some good police work there, Joe.
That's some solid police work there. So the devil did it, huh? Well, not my cousin Brandy. That's right. It wasn't Randy. It was the devil inside him.
Sorry, I'm going to have to cite you for demonic possession.
I'm going to have to. You're going to have to take 3 drops of essential oils with healing gemstones.
Signing this is not an admission of your possession, just a promise that you'll show up in court.
You have the right to remain silent. If you do have a cackle or hiss, it can be used against you in the exorcism court of law.
Maybe instead of holy water, they should just have soap and water, and they just wash off the essential oils.
Your Honor, I only speak in tongues. Can I please get an interpreter?
An ASL interpreter, a DSL, a demon sign language.
Yeah,
that's right. And the cool thing is that
it's just mostly the middle finger in different intensity.
Their conferences are catered, though. They all have pea soup.
Yeah, right.
We brought this girl. She's feeding us all.
Reagan, no.
Bad girl.
It always cracked me up that she was named Reagan. It's like,
right, and ahead of the game by a fair bit.
Right, for sure. And was based in D.C. Coincidence? I think not.
Wow. All right. So the good news, guys, is you can. The U.S. Copyright Office says that you can fix your game consoles, but only the optical drive. You can't open it up for other reasons. Just the optical drive.
There's a couple other things included in that, but not
exorcism
everything.
For one. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, like if your console were, say, infected by demonic presence, you have the right to open it up and exorcise it.
You can wash off the essential oils and gemstones.
And melioidosis bacteria.
So they actually ruled like a lot of stuff could get fixed, but still not everything. Just not quite there yet, but actually, I suppose a decent enough step if you measure things like this in steps.
In that we've spent decades hot gluing everything together to make it impossible to repair and suing anybody who tries.
Well, so Karen Sandler was one of the people who petitioned for this one. So because she wants access to her heart defibrillator, I believe. And I'm
What?
like,
How dare she?
no, I mean, she wants to
Control the thing inside her body?
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
That's insanity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus.
But this was actually a big victory for the Software Freedom Conservancy. They worked on this for a long time, and I'm sure they're taking the optical drive repair thing as a W too. I mean, because they worked hard on this.
I mean, I it just infuriates me that you have to even work at that. Like that's how can I not take apart the thing I bought?
And stuck on my heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You put it on my organs.
Yeah.
It's just like when I was a kid, and the car broke and car broke down. Dad was like, darn it, it's welded shut. I'm going to have to drive it off a cliff and buy a new one.
Yeah.
Makes me so angry. The last one on the list, Chris?
Well, it looks like we're going to be tossing some coins to our witcher. Look at this guy. I really liked season 1. I'm gonna probably really like season 2. I mean, it wasn't perfect by any measure. It had its real problems.
It was the editing.
The editing was weird. The lighting was bad in a couple episodes, and the timeline jumping aroundy thing wasn't as clever as they wanted it to be.
I know I may be in the minority in this, but I hate the Bard.
See, I liked him.
So when you saw this, you didn't laugh and go, "Oh, they're bringing the Bard back." No, you were angry.
Ugh.
And look at that face.
Yeah, that's what I think when I see him. I just want to punch that stupid face.
Yeah.
I liked it. I'm looking forward to it. When's the release date? That's soon, right?
December 17th. Merry Christmas from The Witcher.
Right.
Did you all watch the little animated sort of prequel thing that was on Netflix?
No.
A Witcher thing?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know.
I'll have to watch that today.
Oh yeah, check it out.
Was it like he went to the Exorcism conference?
It sort of sets up probably the maybe 20 years just before The Witcher takes place. About it's about the Witchers and why there are so few of them, and sort of the fights they had with the other groups. And has him as a child in it, which you don't find out until the very end.
Interesting. Well, thank you for spoiling.
Well, I mean,
I think the other part of the problem, she was dull as a sack of hammers.
Yeah, well,
that was the other problem with season 1 and I guess season 2. It's like maybe she's grown into the role, but probably not.
Seems unlikely. Is there anything good coming out in theaters? Is Last Night in Soho this weekend? There's something really good coming out this weekend.
No, it's something else. But I'm looking forward to that though. I think it might be coming out this weekend.
Oh,
yeah, Last Night in Soho is this weekend.
I can't wait for that movie.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm going to go to a theater for it though. But Edgar Wright, Weird Chess Girl, I'm there.
All right.
Oh, I guess Spencer is coming out. About Princess Diana Spencer and Post Malone and the guy from Deep Space Nine solving crimes in Boston. Diana Spencer for hire.
Diana Spencer for hire. You went a long ways for that.
No one's along with this one.
You went a long ways.
Yeah. Well, so the Spencer reboot had Post Malone in it and Mark Wahlberg. But the original one, Hawk, was played by Avery Brooks. So I know it's important that I break this down. So there you go. Ida Red looks good. It's a violent heist.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of good stuff coming out in the next few months. But yeah, it's just a matter of how many times am I willing to get to the theater, especially now that my 12-minute away theater closed.
Yeah. Well, we have Ghostbuster Afterlife, but not until the 19th.
Yeah, that's a couple weeks out. Because it's this week it's Last Night in Soho. Next week it's The Eternals, and then there's a week off, I think. And then,
The Eternals is. It's not this weekend. Is that this weekend?
That's next weekend.
Oh, okay.
No,
it's the 5th.
I know it's next weekend.
Oh, Sorry, I forgot what day it was.
This weekend is the weekend of the 29th, and it has Last Night in Soho.
Right.
But all right. Does anybody else have anything else that they want to get off their chests before we click the buttons?
Well, there is Dune. Dune is out.
Oh yeah, go see that again
this weekend.
Planet Dune.
Yeah. So
yeah,
you can always, and it's got Sean Young in it from the original one.
It's nice. It's nice to know that she still got work.
Y'all.
She still got work.
You believe it?
I hope she's playing this. Yeah, that'd be great. That's real. There's one thing that I've definitely come to enjoy is watching the Red Letter Media videos and seeing the whole genre of movies where it's just a box cover that's close enough to something else to make you buy it or trick you into renting it at the video rental store because it looks just about like something familiar. Man, that looks like Wing Commander bad.
Yeah, it does. It looks terrible. I think we have better green screen work here.
Well, I've been broadcasting from Arrakis this whole time.
Yeah, this looks terrible.
Rob has to be careful because if the monolith tips over, he's definitely crushed.
Yeah, I've got some sort of Atlas thing going on here. I'm keeping it steady with the side of my head. And man, have I got a cramp in my neck.
Yeah, you do, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, this Planet Dune looks terrible.
Oh,
they're calling it a mockbuster. That's kind of clever.
Oh, Ambalu says
it's from the Asylum. Of
new Red Letter Media for Halloween too.
Yeah, I saw that. I haven't watched it yet though.
Good. All right, folks, let's say goodbye. Go do our important works for the day. Goodbye, Mr. Christabona.
Bye.
Goodbye, Mr. Rob Roseboom.
Handsome.
Thank you, Chris. Goodbye.
Yep. I have to always introduce Chris first, I guess, because Rob's just a little. We're both beautiful, but Rob's just got that little extra something, I guess.
It's the beard oil.
It's the essential beard oils.
The essential beard oils.
The gemstones really brings out your boyish good looks.
The meliodosis really gives you that sort of underpinning of
I mind them
bloating.
Myself.
Yeah.
Your dwarven roots are finally paying off. All right, I was Rob Commander Taco Malda. That was Geeks in Space. We'll see you Tuesday. Bye.